Alright, so we got Imperial melee weapons. Shout out to the boy Crack Duck Man for this video. Let's go to it. Let's go.
Hi friends, today we're talking about the zany, wacky melee weapons of the Imperium. From simple bayonet.
So I'm gonna just keep it real for what it like before we even just rip the condom off and just go crazy. Pause. Oh my bad, y'all. I had to cover my nose. I thought I was about to sneeze. But before we even just go crazy, just rip the band-aid off. Let me just say this. I feel like there's really no point to having like melee weapons unless, I mean, you know what? Unless you really get close to somebody, bro. I'll just have the Glock with the switch on it, with the beam, with the extended mag on it. Like nobody. None of these dudes is getting close to me at all, bro. Swiss cheese them completely.
That's to badass lightning claws. We'll cover them all. And unfortunately,
like, bro, sorry, but he's getting Swiss cheese, bro. He's legit getting lit up like the 4th of July. Like, he's not getting nowhere near me, bro. Seriously, bro. Like, honestly.
We'll have to save the Xeno weapons for a future date since, well, the Dark Eldar alone would make this video far too long. But anyways, let's fix bayonets and get into the weapons. And, since we just fixed them, let's unfix them and examine and talk about the humble bayonet. Yeah, it's just a bayonet. Literally just a regular bayonet that can be fixed on las guns, bolt guns, and presumably other guns. There's a lot of weapons in 40k that are essentially just real-world weapons, maybe with some material advances or space magic, but the concept's largely the same. That being said, though, there are some interesting variations on the bayonet, such as the Space Marines Gears of War style chain bayonets or power bayonets for some extra cut-in power.
Now, I'm gonna keep it real for what it is, y'all. If I see this thing, if I see this thing right here on the battlefield, hey, my Glock with the switch with the beam with the extended mag might not work on him. And I'm not even saying that because of his size or nothing like that. It's just because he looks like he could take a few bullets. I don't know. Like, I might have to you know, like do him like you do Call of Duty Zombies. You know, you might have to shoot him a few times and run and sprint and, you know, and reload the weapon or whatever. Like, you might have to, like, it's not just a straight up just shoot him, whatever. I might have to legit like lap him a bunch of times and just keep shooting him. Like, he looks like a Call of Duty like Black Ops 6 Zombies boss. Like, he looks a little tough. Like, I feel like I might have my work cut out for him. But other than that, like, these little guys right here, bro, done. GG's.
Which, speaking of chain bayonets, let's talk about one of the most, if not the most, iconic melee weapons in all of 40k. Basically, every faction has a variation of this sweet weapon, and it's the closest thing to a default weapon in the setting. It's the chainsword, and the many variations of them. As their name suggests, chain swords are basically chainsaw swords, but, contrary to popular belief, they aren't really supposed to cut exactly like a chainsaw does.
Here's my thing, right? With the chain swords, y'all, I don't mind them, it's just I feel like they take too long. In Warhammer, bro, like, you got enemies in front of you, behind you, to the, like, you know, left, right, etc. I feel like if I'm really trying to go crazy and just, like, and just God of War everybody, I feel like I need like a weapon that's like quick, like you know, like a samurai sword, or like a, again, you know, Glock with the switch with high beam with extended mag, or like a Mag 10. You know, I need something quick. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like the chainsword is like I feel like it's kind of slow to me.
In most depictions, rather than holding it to an object to cut like a chainsaw, chainswords are usually designed for hacking and slashing. The chain of the chainsword is commonly lined with monomolecular edged teeth, and this in combination with the extreme rotation speed gives the chainsword great cutting power and even allows it to parry power weapons to a certain extent. And beyond the sword, there's chain variations of basically any melee weapon you could think of. Quickfire, we've got the aforementioned chain bayonet, the kick-ass chain axe, chain fists, which are most commonly used by Terminators to breach Space Hulk doors, chain glaives, and my favorite of all, the Eviscerator. The Eviscerator is also a sword. A sword set to humongo, that is. The Eviscerator is basically a chain-grade sword, and it might just be the coolest type of sword in 40k. But despite their badassery, chain weapons do have some notable downsides. First off, their teeth are susceptible to breakage and dulling after enough use, which is why it's important to always floss. They can also jam if not well maintained, can be loud, which honestly in the 40k universe can be a pro or a con. But some of the more advanced and sophisticated chainswords, like the Eldar ones, are nearly silent. But the most important downside is that chainswords are basically worse than power weapons in every single way. However, they're cheap and easy to produce, extremely brutal, and effective enough to be an extremely ubiquitous weapon. From the humble guardsman all the way to the massive titans, the chainsword is always a trustworthy killing machine. But before we get any further, there's a lot of fancy wacko weapons in 40k, but there's spooky people in the real world called data brokers, and they don't use badass chainswords or power fists. Rather, they weaponize your data. But luckily today's sponsor Incogni can help remove your personal data from these data brokers.
Now, since this is this is a newer video, so we're gonna let the sponsor slide. If we react to a video or whatever and they have a sponsor and the video is like a year old, y'all would typically skip it. But if it since this video came out like what 2-3 days ago, we're gonna let it go. I might just talk over
sites. Data brokers can use your.
Now, y'all, I'm gonna be honest with you. Hear what I'm gonna say, right? Whenever it comes to like these like again melee weapons, y'all, again I'm switch using everybody and that's just how I feel. But like I'm not just gonna completely like throw down like like these chain weapons or whatever. But other than that, man, listen, hopefully you guys been having like a good week or whatever. I know it's getting cold out there, so make sure you guys wear your coats and stuff like that. Actually just came from it's this thing that I think it's this thing, I don't know if you guys city have it, but it's called Light Up Night. It's like a Christmas kind of festival like thing that I think that a lot of major cities have. And bro, it was really cool, y'all. It was really cool. I enjoyed my time out there. But it's back to grind time, y'all. It's back to getting these videos out. I'm now doing 3 videos a day, every single day, besides Sunday, because Sunday is like my rest day. That's the day for the Lord. So other than that, I think the ad's almost over. Hopefully you guys subscribe to the channel if you guys did enjoy, if you guys are new. And let's get right back to the video.
Extremely ubiquitous weapon is a simple, tried and true, regular ass knife. Yep. Turns out that even in the grim darkness of the far future, sharp metal stick is still a very useful weapon and tool. But there's also some pretty badass and notable variations on the simple combat knife. First up, Astartes combat knives are normal combat knives. If you're an 8-foot-tall monster man clad in super space armor, that is. These knives are made of hypersteel, which, as the name suggests, is steel but hyper. They have monomolecular edges for extreme cutting.
I'm gonna keep it real. Even without armor, I'm taking this thing right here, bro. Respectfully. If I was in Warhammer, bro, and like obviously because y'all know me, I feel like I wouldn't even wear armor because it slows somebody with like my speed down. So like I wouldn't even wear armor. As a matter of fact, bro, I might just arrive to like to like the war zone with just no shirt on. Like I might just arrive just aura farming, like I'm Roman Reigns or something. But like as I walk to the battlefield, y'all, just one shoulder in front of the other like Goku. Like I'm gonna just keep it real for what it is. If I seen somebody trying to run up on me with this knife, I might just let them just do it. Like just to show them that, like, bro, this little puny knife, this little $1 knife, this little Family Dollar knife, this little Dollar General knife is not doing nothing to me. This little bitty like just DIY Halloween knife is not doing nothing to me, bro. Like get this puny like I'm gonna just let him just get his little attack off. Like that's gonna do nothing to me. Like respectfully, like if y'all wanna like really make like a good knife or something like that, bro, have a butcher knife or like make the knife from Scream, like that has some damage to it. You ever seen that? You seen Scream from Fortnite, right? You get what I'm saying. This knife right here, this little bitty fake dagger is buns.
In power are super thick and rugged and are fucking giant. Since they're used by Marines, these knives are big ol' swords to basically anyone else. Which, speaking of giant badass knives, of course the ultra badass space Rambos have some pretty badass knives. Katachan knives are well renowned for their extreme quality and deadliness.
These are machetes. These are machetes. He's talking about some knives. Bro, you ain't walking around with machetes.
Even the orcs will see Katachan knives because even them humies can make some proper good choppas.
Yo, the orcs in their language is straight up dog water, hot dog water, bro. I hate the way they talk, and I understand, bro. They kind of talk with a little slang, so I'm kind of like contradicting myself. But like orcs, move out the way, bro. Nobody likes y'all, bro. Move. Stop trying to talk like me. You're not me, bro. Move. Now, bro. Chop chop. Get up out of here. You're trash. The way they talk is so crazy. You trying to copy off my lingo. It's not going to work, bro. Like, if you want to steal my lingo, you got to ask for it first. Bum. Like, come on, yo.
That's a little quote I took from an orc. The most iconic of the Katachan knives are the Katachan Fang and the Devil's Claw. The Katachan Fang is basically just a huge high-quality Bowie knife, and the Devil's Claw is an even huger high-quality knife that blurs the line between knife and sword. These crazy knives are usually at least 3 feet long, and in some cases are said to have a mercury-filled channel. This is theoretically meant to give the knife a shifting balance point, but in reality it would probably be pretty useless. But it does sound cool and sci-fi, and it was also in some old science fantasy apparently, so I mean that's pretty cool, right? But finally, an even huger knife than any of those huge knives, and possibly the hugest knife, is the Ogryn's appropriately named Huge Knife, which is literally just a huge knife. But then, for something more out there, we've got the power weapons. This weapon class is my favorite, and has got some of the most iconic and badass weapons in the entire setting. There are tons of different power weapons, but almost all of them function relatively the same way. Basically, they're regular melee weapons with a little doodad that creates an energy field around the weapon.
That is hard. That's hard. That's actually hard. Like the little blue, like the little, what is it called? Yo, what's that one, man, my brain is just slowing down right now, bro. Bro, my brain is working like an android, bro. It's like, it's stuttering right now. Yo, that one sword that Fulgrim be having, I know, you know, it turned him into a diabolical freak, but like, that sword, it did look nice.
Disruption field disrupts solid matter and makes it easy to cut or destroy basically any solid armor, which is very useful in a setting where it seems like everyone and their mom has near impervious super armor or is extraordinarily tough. The most common power weapon is the power sword, which is basically 40k's lightsaber. Other than 40k's literal lightsaber, the Solix Aegis energy blade, of course. But anyways, super obscure weapons aside, the power sword is basically a cool glowy sword that could cut through almost anything. And similar to the sword are the power axes and power glaives. Again, basically the regular weapon that uses a disruption field to help it cut better. Similarly, the Custodian's iconic Guardian Spears are essentially power glaives with a bolter strapped on it for when the thing you want to kill is out of slashing range. They also have the Sentinel Blade, which is a power sword, also with the gun on it, which also, the magazines being the crossguard is both the dumbest and coolest thing ever. I absolutely love it. Then, perhaps the coolest power weapon, we have the Power Fist or Power Glove if you're feeling nostalgic. These are meant for punching and tearing rather than the swords cutting and stabbing. In addition to the disruption...
See, like, I think that's whack, though, because, like, in order... Like, I understand, and look, he's ore farming, it looks nice, but, like, you gotta connect. But, like, with somebody with my speed and, like, my skill, bro, they're not connecting with anything. Yo, every time they throw a punch, bro, I'm like, these... in slow motion every single time, they're not touching me. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like I'll just be too skilled like that. You know?
Field,
like,
Power Fist also enhance the user's strength for even better punches. This is the signature weapon of the Terminator since it makes light work of Space Hulk doors and basically anything else as one of the most devastating anti-tank infantry weapons. Also, fun little tidbit, my Cadian Castellan killed 2 Deathwing Terminator Knights with it.
I'm gonna keep it real. That looks nice. Hold up.
Also, fun little tidbit,
that looks nice. That's hard. This is hard, y'all. I'll keep it real. This is alright. I know I told y'all that, you know, sometimes I'll finesse it, you know, I won't fully buy like a lot of these figures or whatever because Games Workshop, they be taxing. This little figure right here costs more than your rent. Don't think so? Look it up. These little figures right here, bro, yo, Warhammer fans, they got it like that, bro. Pockets loaded. Yeah, bro. Pockets loaded. Big time.
Cadian Castellan killed 2 Deathwing Terminator Knights with his little Power Fist. It was really cool. But moving on, some other blunt power weapons are the Power Maul, the Crozius Arcanums, and the Thunder Hammer, baby! Whoa! These mostly do what you think, but some notable things are that the Croziuses are usually used by chaplains and are adorned with cute little symbols to help inspire their battle brothers. They can also sometimes project a power field to enhance its range, but this isn't a very common feature. Then, the Thunder Hammer is perhaps the most powerful infantry melee weapon. It has similar destructive capabilities as a power fist, but you can put even more power behind it thanks to the magic of leverage. But a notable drawback of the Thunder Hammer and Power Fist is that they're quite heavy and unwieldy, so even with the strength boost, the user is often slower and less precise than if they're using something like a Power Sword.
Okay.
But even with that, these are still extremely devastating weapons. For these blunt weapons, rather than cutting through armor, the disruption field usually cracks the armor, and then the fist or hammer or whatever else inflicts huge blunt force trauma, assuming the initial blow.
So it's kind of like the, okay, it's kind of like the alcohol. Yeah, it's kind of like the alcohol before the shot, basically. Okay. It basically lubes everything up. Boss. It basically, what's another word? It basically softens everything up, and then, okay, bet, okay.
Didn't already atomize the target. But finally, for my favorite of the power weapons, we have the lightning claws. These are a bit of an...
Alright, I'll keep it real. These are hard. These lightning claws, bro, I know these things are school threat. Like, bro, the most evil, most menacing dude from Arkham made these things. I understand that, but at the same time, the way they're glowing blue with the lightning around it, that's fire. You'll be a hater if you say that it's not fire, bro. I'm gonna keep it real. It's hard.
In between of the Power Fist and Power Swords is you can have dual gauntlets with powered up Wolverine claws. It's badass. And it can even be more Freddy Krueger-esque with powered talons. And to close off this section, there's also Power Brass Knuckles, and they have the best name possibly in the setting. These crazy little things are called Jaw Snapper Knuckle Dusters. Holy shit. Similar to power weapons, though, we have the signature weapon of the Sicarian Ruststalkers, the Transonic weapons. These are similar to power weapons, but instead of...
This actually looks hard, though. Wait a minute. This looks super fly. Wait a minute. Okay. With transonic weapons, I'm going to have to invest into this, bro. This looks nice.
Using disruption fields, they utilize sonic fields and bad vibrations to enhance their cutting power. They're basically humongo ultrasonic cutters. Ultrasonic cutters, if you will. The most common variation of transonic weapons are the blades and cord claws. The blades are pretty intuitive to understand, but the cord claw utilizes vibrations to help the user rip out chunks of flesh and armor from their enemies. And then another weapon pretty closely tied to the AdMech are shock weapons. These are various... And then another weapon pretty closely tied to the AdMech are
Ooh, 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 my abs hurt. Ooh. 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 Yo, I think a few days ago, y'all, like 3 days ago, I went running for the first time, so my legs were sore. And then the Saturday, I played football. I haven't played football in a long time. I was getting tackled and everything, catching interceptions, and I was like prime Sean Taylor. It was crazy. That's why, like, every time that my entire body is sore to the point where every time I laugh, bro, my abs hurt, my core hurts. Yo. I'm gonna keep it real. Yo, the first time this went across my screen, I'm like, wait a minute, huh? Like, who was that? Like, I didn't even know it was Hassan at first until I went back and really tried to slow it down. First of all, I don't really speak about Twitch drama or whatever because I feel like that's not really my place. I'm a YouTuber. Maybe if I was a Twitch streamer, then I'll speak about it or whatever. But like, I feel like it's not really my role to speak about it. But since this situation happened like a while ago, I'll talk about it. Bro, this whole thing about bro shocking his dog and all that, and how he tried to defend it, saying that, oh, he didn't, and da 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 da. Man, let's keep it real for what it is. First of all, I feel like you shouldn't have I feel like, me personally, you shouldn't have a shot collar around a dog in the first place. I'm just keeping it real for what it is, bro. Now I don't know his dog. I don't know if his dog bites or whatever. But at the same time, yo, let's keep it real for what it is. You should not have no shot collar around no dog. Point blank, period. And the fact that he got caught in 4K, bro, zapping that dog is absolutely down bad or just atrocious, bro. That's number one. Number two, the fact that he snuck him in here, bro. Bro, I can't laugh. I'm trying my best to suppress my laugh, y'all, because every time that I laugh, my core hurts, y'all. Like my entire, like this section right here, it aches every time I laugh. So I can't really laugh like I want to laugh, bro. But Whew, okay. Oh boy. Well, my core hurts.
Shock weapons. These are various weapons fitted with power generators that electrify the weapon and, well, shock the enemy. Shocking, I know. The most common variations of these are electro flails, shock mauls, and electro goads. Speaking of goads, another weapon is a goad lance, which will be perfect to segue to all the various lances that the Imperium uses. The most prominent are the aforementioned goad lance, and the others are the hunting
They got horses in 40K?
lances most commonly used by rough riders. And those Attillans know that it's all about the tip, as hunting lances can be fitted with a bunch of Those Attillans know that it's all about the tip. As hunting lances can be fitted with a bunch of different tips depending on the user's needs. There's Melta lances can be fitted with a bunch of different tips depending on the user's needs.
Filled with a bunch of different tips depending on the user's needs. What does that mean? Somebody, yeah, hold up. We're not finna just skip past this. Kids, cover your ears. What does that mean, yo? Somebody fill me in. Pause. Don't fill me in. As a matter of fact, get away from me. What does this mean?
There's Melta lances, krak lances, frag lances, plasma lances, poison lances, shock lances, inferno lances, and so on and so forth. And then finally, we have one of the most unique melee weapons, if not the most unique melee weapons in 40K, the Force Weapons. Force Weapons are a class of melee weapons that are designed to channel psyker energies into themselves in order to enhance their effectiveness. These are again similar to power weapons, but rather than disruption fields, they have psi convectors woven into the weapon in order to channel the user's psyker powers for devastating attacks. This also means that the stronger the psyker is, the stronger the weapon is. And in the hands of a non-psyker, force weapons are essentially regular weapons. And a notable variation of this weapon are the Nemesis force weapons used by the Grey Knights. Nemesis weapons are specifically designed to fight demons and other warp entities, as is the Grey Knight's MO. But let's close this off with the strongest, the most intimidating melee weapon in the entire Imperium, and dare I say the entire setting. And that would of course be the fist of the average Catachan. Let's go, typical guard W, baby! Let's go, guard! It's all about the guard! Woo! But yeah, those are the melee weapons of the Imperium. Very cool stuff. If you want,
shout out to Crack Doug, man. He always be glazing the weakest legions of all time. Yo, shout out to Crack Doug, man. Comment down below, man. What do y'all think? Yo, what is your favorite melee weapon? I'm gonna keep it real for what it is, bro. My favorite melee weapon, bro, is Vulcan's like hands. Like, it's just truly just like amazing what he can do with his hands, and I just feel like I wouldn't even, like, me personally, I wouldn't need to put my delicate, amazing hands on anybody. I can just be like, yo, Vulcan, like, I can't whistle, so I gotta reenact. Yo, Vulcan, come handle him. Like, that's all I can do, you know, so just having Vulcan's hands on go, like, it's just crazy, man. Comment down below. What do you guys think about this video? Obviously, I'll let you guys subscribe to the channel. Peace out, everybody.